Alright, it's the last of the round 2 games, or round 2 matches rather. It's MacroSoft versus StanleyR. So here we go. MacroSoft Protoss. Bottom left of Blue Shift, and StanleyR also Protoss. Top right. So, what's the standard PvP look like? Pretty traditional openers are double adept. So, single gateway, scout, see what your opponent's doing, and then either side core or nexus. If your opponent is looking aggressive, it's side core gateway nexus. If your opponent isn't looking aggressive, then it might be nexus side core or side core nexus, depending on like what you've got in mind. But yeah, common things are get a couple of adepts out, get into your opponent's base and be annoying with the adepts, get a couple of worker kills, whatever, get a bit of scouting done, and choose your tech path, possibly depending on what you see, possibly stick to some predetermined plan that you've got. Useful things against Protoss, air can be good on this map in particular. A proxied Stargate here gets an oracle into the mineral line pretty quickly. You can get that oracle in there at about 3.5 minutes, and you can definitely get some damage done, because most of the time at the 3.5 minute mark, your opponent might well have a stalker or two up, but not enough to like one-shot the oracle or anything like that. So even if the stalkers are in a good position, with a little bit of focus fire, you can still pick off a couple of workers and get out. But do try and keep that oracle alive if that's the way you go. Phoenix, of course, are a nice choice as well. It is Stargate here for Stanley, so it's not by any means a rushed Stargate. We've got a forge here with a queue of upgrades, and I've talked about this before. Don't do it, guys. Just those upgrades that you're building, the cost of those. They're 100 each, aren't they? So there's 400. Those upgrades are not worth as much as the 3 stalkers that they represent. Not when your army is this small. Upgrades they're not really a thing until the mid game, unless you're going for some very sharp kind of timing attack where you're going to push in with a 1-1 or something like that. Such early upgrades, there just isn't a need for it. You're better spending your money on economy or spending it on army. I like this. The hallucinated Phoenix coming in for MacroSoft. He's going to have a look around. Going to see everything there is to see. And if you do have a couple of sentries in your if you've got a couple of sentries in your army, you can just periodically you can just chuck out a hallucinated Phoenix, and it does get in. It always finds a way to fly in, have a look around. You lose it, it doesn't matter. It's cost you nothing. On the flip side of that, Stanley scouting with the worker. If he was watching, he would have seen what killed it, but doesn't really know anything about what's inside his opponent's base. And there's a big old gateway explosion going on in here, with right now MacroSoft sort of going up to 6-7 gateways, which is 7 gate is about the right amount off 2 base. So he will be able to outproduce Stanley pretty heavily. What's more concerning is, and I don't quite understand how we're at this point, MacroSoft has way more workers than Stanley. I think my webcam's just died. Seriously, I need to buy a new webcam. Unfortunately, I don't have any money, but we'll see what I can scrape together. Anyway, this worker advantage just means that once this base finishes, MacroSoft's going to be able to transfer workers down there, and he's going to have a massive income advantage. Like, we're not seeing a significant income advantage just yet, although there is quite a big gas advantage. Why is that? Is Stan not saturated? No, he isn't. So only now getting the workers into gas here. But once, and that's because once a base is saturated, you don't really gain much more from oversaturation. But now that he's transferring workers down here, you're going to see his income just accelerate away from Stanley's. And Stanley's third coming down now, but look, still no workers actually in production for Stanley. So he's still behind on workers, even when he gets this base up and starts mining from it. He's still going to be playing catch up, and that is gonna prove problematic in the long run. Let's have a look at the unit composition. Like, we're up to, like, we're not maxed out, but we've got +3 coming out. Stanley's going to go for a warp in here. I think I would have preferred up here. These stalkers aren't actually going to achieve anything really. There's a shield battery here. The response is pretty quick. Don't forget, guys, if you're doing, like, I love harass. That's how you play StarCraft for sure. Get into your opponent's base and try and get something done. You know, kill a few workers, slow something down, snipe some tech. You're not going to achieve anything by killing a gas extractor. You're just not. This is more like it. You know, come in here, kill these workers. Like, Stan. Whoa, Stan! You let that. Hang on. Look how much time we've got here. So Stan is going to know about this. Right, they walk right past him. So he knows they're there. And now he definitely knows they're there. Okay. 15 seconds later, he hasn't moved. Well, what's he doing? Like, you've got an army that just obliterates this, but you've just let your Nexus die. I think that's GG, basically, isn't it? You know, you've just lost your third for free, literally for free, and your opponent didn't even have to sacrifice. Didn't sacrifice units to kill it, but didn't have to sacrifice any of his build or his own economy to do it. Like, that wasn't a rush or anything. That was light harass. To lose the workers here, yeah, you know, this many zealots, you lose those workers, painful. To lose the Nexus, come on, dude. So look, 40 to 70 workers, you're screwed. How do you come back from here? Still off 2 base when your opponent is on 4? Look at the incomes. Look at them. There's no way back from here. Just, you know, unless your opponent is absolutely bone and just doesn't have any production. Now, this is a lot of cannons. Only 1 shield battery, though. This is a fair few immortals. And they can crunch through the cannons actually disturbingly quickly. With the shield battery pumping out repair from the back, I don't know about the turnaround. I mean, you know that you killed your opponent's third. Personally, I'd have traded out. You're on 4 bases. You've got a huge mineral bank. You've got big income. You know, you can just continue to pump out units to replace what you've lost. But you know that your opponent can't. You know, look inside your own main base. You can see that you're down to 4 mineral patches and they're low. So you have to assume your opponent is as well, and he is. Even in the natural, you're mining out mineral patches. So you know for a fact that your opponent is barely mining. His income is absolutely tanked here. So why not trade out that army? Would he have broken? Maybe. Maybe not. Hard to tell. The Colossus certainly at the back putting out a lot of... Oh my god. That is so many. Jeez Louise, what am I looking at here? 13 immortals? That's going to walk through this. I mean, immortals actually eat stalkers. Fact. That's what they eat. That's what they live on. They just eat stalkers. And the Colossus are just meaningless because, you know, Colossus do splash. It's great against light units. That is going to be superb against these zealots. Immortals, they mock splash damage. They mock it. These cannons will do nothing. The shield batteries are totally negated by the way that immortals do damage because it's heavy hit damage. You know, it's not lots of little bits that can be repaired in between. These immortals one-shot one of those Colossus. So no amount of like a million shield batteries doesn't affect that. It's one shot, it's dead. So Microsoft can just click in here and win. I'm not really sure why he's choosing not to do that. You'd need to like rotate this so that you're because the void ray. I mean the one void ray. I mean that ultimately can kill infinity immortals. I don't know what the holdup here is. There's something happening over here. What is it? A little warping. Yeah, again, the stalker's actually shooting buildings instead of workers. Don't shoot buildings. Unless you're actually going to snipe some tech and kill it. You know, if you see that the Twilight console, for example, is working away, being chrono boosted, and you think, actually, if I snipe that, I cancel blink, then yeah, by all means. But to take half the shield off a Nexus, what's the point? I don't know what the hold up here is, because this look at the supplies. Come on, this just wins. This just A clicks in here and absolutely crushes everything. That many immortals, come on. And they laugh in the face of splash damage. They've got their special like barrier shield, so you know what I mean. I feel like a little bit of spread here. Why is he turning back? You know, with this army slightly better spread so that they're all shooting, he just walks through. Why is he running? You've got like pretty much as many immortals as he's got stalkers. These stalkers are just going to evaporate. The only thing that can kill you is the void rays. And you know, if he'd gone a minute ago when he had this exact same army, there was only one void ray. Now there's 3, 4. Those void rays, they can kill immortals quite quickly. So you need to keep your stalkers in a position to deal with that. But this hesitation's actually killing me. You know, Microsoft literally for like, how long has it been now? Like 3-4 minutes you've had an army here that you could just A click in and win. Just like, right, this could save the day. The disruptor is about the only thing that Stanley's got going for him, and these 4 void rays could be MVPs arguably. There isn't much here that shoots up. The 2 immortals, the 2 Archons, you're going to focus those down pretty much straight away. But look at how good a job Microsoft is doing with his macro as it happens. You know, so there's the 6th base coming down now. So having to run from the void rays, but you know, had you went when you first shown up, you wouldn't have had that problem at all. So don't waste these immortals. Do something clever with them. Have something that's going to deal with those void rays. But like, what is all this about? This is nonsense. Cannons that can't move. How are you going to kill this base with those cannons? Explain that to me, Stanley. How is that going to happen? There's a reason I have never, ever, 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 ever seen this in a pro StarCraft game. Nah. And a good reason at that is crap. What's the point in it? You know, these will do a lot of shooting if you walk into this area. Okay, how about I don't walk there? How about I walk over here and smash your base? How about I walk over here and smash this base? What are you going to do about it? And then once I've smashed those, I come back with my immortals and they just one-shot the cannons anyway. You know what I mean? It's an absolute massacre. Now that the carriers are out, the void rays are just going to die. The immortals are just going to plow through. But this game could have been over literally 10 minutes ago. Is that how long those immortals have been parked outside? Could have and should have been over just ages ago. Just the sheer firepower from that many immortals is so absurd, so stupid. So I don't know what the hold up was, but it is Microsoft that wins. And arguably the moment he won was when Stan decided to not bother saving his 3rd, to just let it die. I'm half tempted to rewind and watch from the player cam just to see what the hell he was doing at that moment. Maybe he left the room, I don't know. GG.